fucking 2 million, whatever the fuck, because I'm a dumbass and I don't know how to hit a record button or keep a fucking camera on.
Well, at least you're honest and not a liar. That's like, that already puts you like above, you know, pretty much all the influencers walking around as you're not a liar. So,
what are you talking about? I'm natty.
Oh yeah. You also only take
vegan natty.
You only take 500 TRT.
500 TRT.
500 TRT. It's not like if it's 500, it's just TRT.
It's just TRT. Anything, yeah. No, if it's a gram or below, it's TRT. So,
like,
anyway.
It's only TRT if I need to fill up multiple syringes, then it doesn't become TRT.
Then it's a mild cycle. You know, according to some people. You know.
Anyways, we were talking about how like I'm very excited to see Colin do a real prep vlog, real athlete. He doesn't fucking lie. He's authentic with his emotions. He's open with his emotions, and you're looking at a real man build himself into a king. And you get to see the whole journey, and he just happens to be a bodybuilder. He's going to document it, and his autism is raw and authentic. You know, I just think it's going to be a very fresh thing to see what Colin's going to do in the industry versus what.
Hopefully, just no more bullshit. Like I said in my last vlog, like no more bullshit beating around the fucking bush, making everything look pretty. Like I'll get better at editing. Like he's up my ass about it all the fucking time, but. I thought you were about to do something else. No, I was getting ready. Now this douchebag's been fucking driving around like a fucking asshole influencer that he is. But anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, no more bullshit. Fucking, you know, beating around the bush, making everything look like sunshine and fucking rainbows. Like I'm gonna actually document a legitimate prep. Like I have 4 more months, so I'm gonna do junior nats. I've come to the conclusion that I'm gonna do junior nats in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I believe it's June 21st. So I have another 4 months of off season, got another 4 months to grow, and then that gives me, you know, start prep in late March, early April. And I mean, that's more than enough time. Like realistically, I think I only need 8 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, but I just want to give myself a little bit more, you know, leeway in case like I fuck up and there's a little hiccup or something and I need to, you know, do something, whatever.
I guess what Colin's asking is like, he's going to prepare to do these vlogs. What do you guys want to see that you haven't seen from other people? I mean, I already looked at him in the gym today. He looks, like I said, legitimately 8 weeks out, like he said. And he also has the insertions of like a 0.001% male. And you're going to see him blossom into a very well competitive pro. What do you want to see from him specifically that other people haven't done? Because obviously Colin has a real personality, and I'm looking forward to doing the vlogs outside the gym with Colin. You know, I'm looking forward to adding to that. But when it comes to him solely doing the vlogs as his job, what do you guys want to see out of him?
Yeah, we need some like, not necessarily content ideas, but just something like, okay, what can I do that these other fucking influencers aren't doing? Like I said, I'm already going to keep it raw, pretty unfiltered for the most part. I just, you know, little tweaks here and there, and then like the editing, everything else, you know, will get better in time. It's just, you know, the time.
You guys are supporting a real competitor. You guys are supporting a real person. I'm not puppet master on Colin whatsoever. In fact, I want to learn from him. I want him to teach me and refine me. So I think you guys investing into how you want him to do his kingdom and his content, it's not only going to help him, it's going to help me refine my shit as old man Russo over here, who's just been rehabbing. Like with Colin, his strength is already insane, and I'm excited for him to record his strength volume all the time because he doesn't think it's a lot. I'm thinking about who does it at your age at that weight around here. I don't know. If you're in Pittsburgh, I would like to talk to you to get you on my team. So let me know if you are competing. If you have a big dick and you're actually outdoing Colin, hit me up. You know where to find me.
But anyway, what other point we did? Okay, so since we're both autistic and
Maxtism.
Can I use the R word on YouTube?
No.
I can't. Okay. Special. Since we're both special, we didn't record before our session, so we recorded after, unfortunately. So kind of give you guys a rundown of what we did, and then I'll throw the training footage into a voiceover after. So we start with triceps. It was supposed to be an entire push day. I mean, it kind of was.
It was crowded.
It was crowded, and I mean, I was more focused on lagging body parts. So like personally, I need to bring up my triceps a little bit. My chest is like overpowering at this point, I feel like. So I try to save that for last. I think we only did like a few accessories, and then we supersetted some other, smaller chest accessories with some tricep or shoulder stuff. I think we started off skull crushers, did some weighted dips, did a little bit of shoulder press, a couple pressing movements into a incline and then decline press, hammer strength machine, and then I think some pec. What's the fucking machine? The one we were using, not the pec deck. I love that thing. If you guys custom Arsenal strength,
whatever.
like pec fly, like that's by far probably one of my favorite chest movements. I mean, you can feel everything contract. I mean, you get the best stretch. I mean, I'll glaze the fuck out of that machine because it works. I fucking love it.
Only go to that gym for that machine.
Yeah.
I know a bunch.
And I don't know any other gyms around here that have that machine. That's the other thing too. So like, but anyway, did that, and then I think we finished with like a tricep superset, which I didn't get on camera because, again, my dumbass doesn't come prepared, and
He's pushing through. I feel like
I'm pushing through, guys. I'm pushing through.
You guys need to support a real one instead of the fake one with the editing team that gets told what to say and everything. I'm not telling him what to say. I'm actually looking forward to learning from him. And I feel like you guys getting behind him, autistically putting it together is more entertaining than it being perfectly constructed by someone like me who's paying for everything. Pulling. I'm not doing that. I'm not pulling any strings other than bitching at him, just like you guys are going to bitch at him in the comments.
Yep. So, brings me to the next point. What was I just saying? Fuck. Don't run over the squirrel. So there may or may not have been a squirrel casualty, but anyway, you can see here we are starting off with some good old skull crushers. Definitely one of my favorite exercises for overall tricep mass. You're really going to be targeting that long head, which is the biggest head of the tricep. So, when you're hitting like a front double and you see from that swoop underneath, that's where this is going to help with that tremendously. One thing, like I hear a lot of people, when I say I like these, is they're always like, well, I don't feel these. I'm like, well, there's probably an array of reasons for that. And when I do, I will say when I see people do these, they have a tendency of keeping the weight directly over top of their head or their shoulders when they come, and they'll like fully lock out. Personally, when I do these, I like to keep the weight, a little bit back behind my head, and that way I'm keeping constant tension on the triceps, and I get a much better stretch. Now, sets and reps, I believe I did 3 working sets. Normally I'd work up to a top set, which I tried to do. My last set I tried to throw 25 on there, and I think I only got like 3, so I was like, yeah, no, whatever, okay. My triceps are gassed. But I did pretty much 3 working sets to failure, and then Ryan, I believe, was kind of doing his own thing. I think he left a few reps in reserve because he's a little bit of a P word. No, I'm just kidding. Ryan is still recovering his CNS from a neuromuscular disease. If you're not familiar with all of that, or if you're not familiar with Ryan, I highly suggest you go check out his YouTube. One of the realest in the fitness industry right now. Tells it like it is and doesn't sugarcoat shit, and is probably one of the most honest people I've ever met. So, which is, as he stated earlier, definitely a little, bit hard to come by, especially in this industry. So again, if you're not familiar, go check his YouTube out at Ryan Russo, and then his temporary IG handle is at Russo Lifts Again. But moving on to shoulder press, I tell you what, this shit sucks. after, you know, frying your triceps, because I mean it's pretty much all shoulders here on out. And you know, if you're coming from IG, you know I can, you know, overhead press 275 three plates, excuse me, relatively easily for, you know, sets of 6, 7, 8. And then, you know, I'm doing that here with 225 and low-key struggling with it. So you know, this really, you know, makes you isolate your shoulders. Again, another great lift. I love overhead presses. I feel like it's responsible for a lot of the density and the maturity that I have in my shoulders. All right, jumping over to the dip machine. This particular dip machine, I don't know what it is about it, but I like one of my favorites by far. I like the, you know, the normal conventional ones, the stack loaded machines. But I don't know, just the leverage of this machine, I feel everything amazing. But anyway, you know, see the theme here, kind of doing tricep, shoulder, chest, tricep, shoulder, and chest. Just kind of like I said, bouncing back and forth. I mean, you're kind of hitting everything. I mean, this is technically a compound. You're definitely working a little bit of lower chest in this. Definitely some front delt, obviously, especially on these deeper reps. I will say, you know, I'm not trying to purely isolate my triceps just because, again, it is a full push day and I do want to get some other muscle groups in there as well. But if I were to just make this a tricep movement in and by itself, I would scooch my ass out all the way to the end of the seat instead of being, you know, so far and hunched over. I'd have my ass all the way out and my back would be as straight as possible. And what that's going to do, that's going to, you know, make it a lot harder, you know, to use your chest and your front delts. And it's going to isolate those triceps pretty damn well. But we ended up doing quite a few sets. I think we ended up doing four or 5 sets on this. And then my last one, including a drop set. I tell you what, after doing this, I mean, dude, your triceps are fried. I mean, it was hard to like move my arm. You know, everything was so pumped and fatigued and a lot of lactic acid building up. Now this set does extend. I think I like dropped it all the way down to like 2 plates. But I'm not going to bore you guys to death. So moving on, we have a incline chest press machine. I believe this is just a hammer, you know, typical hammer strength, you know, incline press. I only did 3 sets. I mean, it was, I did work up to a top set of 2 1/4, but I mean, I'll tell you what, that was not easy to do. I mean, I was fatigued, man. I mean, your triceps after those skull crushers and after those dips, especially with that amount of volume, you know, I'm really struggling, you know, and everything. Like it definitely helps though too with the isolation aspect of things. Like I can definitely connect with my chest a lot better compared to if I was fresh. Moving on to the next exercise, we have this decline. I believe this is Arsenal decline press. I like this one particularly just because you can adjust the width of the handles. I personally like them to be as close as possible. Just again, I get a better contraction. I did 3 sets of these. Pretty much just a failure. I tried to keep it around, you know, 10 to 12 reps. And then I went over here, camera was off, unfortunately, for when I did these, but this was the machine I was talking about earlier in the car with Ryan. This Arsenal strength, awesome. I love this thing. I mean, you can really feel everything. So we supersetted the decline press with this. We did 3 sets of these each, and then went over to the cables and did a giant superset of extensions with just switching between the rope and the standard V-bar. And that pretty much sums up our entire push day. Now we've got post pump clips, but I already know Ryan's going to chew me out. They are vertical. I'm so sorry, guys. So you guys are going to have to turn your phone to look at the pump. I know, I suck. I promise you the editing will get better. I promise. But as you can see, pretty fucking full. Can't complain.